Another E3 come and gone, but only one of the hosts can say it was their 19th E3, and that's Jeff Green. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 8-Bits. I am so excited for today's show. We've not only get an opportunity to talk a lot of it about E3, but we also get MANvsGAME joining us as well. I mean, today's just set up to be awesome, you guys. Hello. I hope you guys enjoy.
I was gonna.
Yeah.
Please hold your applause until the end of the cast. I like it's a lot to take.
This is the new 8-Bits initiative here. We're getting small streamers from Twitch and giving them the spotlight every once in a while here on the show.
It's so, and I want to thank you guys so much for the opportunity. Just get my brand out there. You know what? And all kidding aside, it truly is an honor to be here with you guys because djWHEAT, my God, let me just start off. Doing E3 this week with you was just, it was like going to like school, like just learning how to do.
Man.
It was incredible watching you work behind the scenes. You were just consummate professional the whole time, and.
By the way, you're not going to get any of that on this show. All right,
Wheat's not even wearing pants.
I'm not. I'm in my pajama pants. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I'm professional.
Yeah.
All right, this is it.
Yeah, I got the bare feet too.
We got Mini Wheat probably hopping in from time to time. Like this is the exact opposite of that. But thank you.
And I love it like that. This is how I like it. And JP, I know you know me. You know, there's no story there. But this is my first opportunity to talk with Jeff Green.
And likewise.
Yes, and I just feel like such an idiot. I had no idea that Jeff even existed before somebody linked.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I can do this, JP. I might try this. I'm gonna turn. Yep, there we go. So I just turned me and JP off. I'll just let you guys have a moment alone if you want. You know.
Seriously, I just became a huge fan of Jeff Green immediately when I watched your first video, your first Dark Souls video.
Yeah.
And I was just laughing hysterically. I followed you on Twitter, and ever since then, I have been so glad to have found you. I feel like such an idiot just having not known about you. So.
No.
That's great.
You're awesome too. So and I'm psyched to be doing this with you.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Well,
So
JP, do you get to offer the I sat at home in my underwear and watched E3 perspective this week?
Fantastic.
So, your week was good?
Yeah, my E3 ended on Monday evening when I stopped watching the conferences. So I didn't do anything else. So it was pretty nice. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
I guess the Nintendo stuff on Tuesday morning or whatever. But yeah, it was for me. It was just a normal week. It was great. Got to watch you guys. Got to watch all the Giant Bomb stuff, which I think was probably the best content I've seen that covered E3. Jeff, you were on there. I watched your segment. I also got to hear your company's name for the first time. I didn't know it was. Hit detection? Is this?
Hit detection. Yeah, we detect hits.
Yeah.
I like that.
Good name.
You know, when I came across, where was I? No. I was applying for the global entry thing. You know, the thing that the U.S. border has now, that so you can skip all the, all the customs stuff, and you just go up to a machine. Anyway, you have to go to an in-person interview to get this done with the U.S. Border Patrol, and it says on the form hit detection. And the guy, who's like in a uniform, I don't know what their deal is, but he asked me with a straight face, he goes, hit detection. So you guys like hired hitmen?
Did you answer yes?
Yes, in fact. Damn it, I was hoping you wouldn't ask.
You'll find my guns in the case. That's why I'm doing this.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You caught me.
We should probably stop listing that just so blatantly, put it. It's not smart.
I could have said anything.
I've
Unemployed.
wondered the Giant Bomb guys fly. How do you get around in an airport with a name like Giant Bomb? I would figure there'd just be TSA agents escorting you to the plane.
Yeah. I do have stories. I think there are if you talk to them.
Yeah.
I think I've had moments.
I mean, I get nervous just listening to the Giant Bombcast on my phone and making sure that the passenger next to me doesn't see that the name on my phone is Giant Bomb.
Welcome back to Giant Bomb, guys.
I'm just oh shit!
Man, what are you
doing? Hiding the phone. But yeah, Yeah, I enjoyed my E3 at home. Not having to go anywhere. It was nice. It was nice.
I think there's kind of an advantage too, because I know being like in E3, there's kind of sense where I know for me anyway, you're so busy, sort of like making doing your thing,
Right.
you miss so much else that's going on.
Yes.
Like I, of course, wasn't able to watch really any of the Nintendo's Treehouse events, which is an awesome idea, and I think
Yeah.
we'll see companies I think going that direction in the future.
Totally.
But yeah, being there, of course, I wouldn't have had it any other way. It's just that you do miss out on a lot of the announcements and stuff, just sort of being in the madness.
Totally.
I at one point on day 2, I was like, I seriously have not left the purple carpet that was around Twitch. Like I never even went. I'm surrounded by all of this stuff, and I wasn't able to leave. Except before we go to our now playing, I would like to tell my first story of E3.
Nice.
And that is that when I was at, when we were, I think, driving home from the studios on day 0, as we called it, I got a chance to talk to Swifter and found out that he was as big of an Ultima Online junkie as I was. And, of course, at that point...
You guys must have been just like...
Oh, man,
all
it's
week.
seriously like 2, war veterans, like, realizing they were in the same platoon and sharing stories, or I guess what I would imagine would happen, but maybe not so much. Anyway... So we have our hour of Ultima Online, all hail to Ultima Online. It's the best.
Check each other out to make sure that person really knows what he's saying. And
I'm sure there's a little bit of that.
out of the story to see if they finish it.
Yeah, there's some touching involved too, right? So anyway,
sure.
I'm going to the bathroom on day 2, one of the few times I actually left our booth, and I'm walking by, and I look over behind us, and it's the Plantronics of all places, the Plantronics booth, right? It's directly behind Twitch, and I'm like, oh look, I'm like, there's Shroud of the Avatar, and I kind of take a couple steps towards it, and then my eyes go down, and I see this sort of weird ponytail, and immediately I'm like, holy shit, that's Richard Garriott. Like, I didn't even have to see his face. I just saw the ponytail, and I'm like, oh shit. And I didn't even confirm. I ran back to the booth. I go, Swifter, Richard Garriott is fucking behind the Twitch booth right now, dude. He's like, are you serious, djWHEAT? So we run over there, and Swifter and I are like vultures on a corpse, man. Like, we are just waiting for this thing, for this guy that he's talking to basically die. It's like, he's almost dead, Swifter. We're going to get him in just 2 seconds. And the moment this guy started to peel away, Swifter and I hey, can we get a picture with you? And sure enough, we did. It was amazing. We talked to him for a few moments. Now I'm going to tell you another story. This guy here on the far left, for those that are seeing, so Richard Garriott, obviously the one in between Swifter and I. The guy on the far left, his name is Star. And apparently,
you're showing a picture.
Yeah, apparently he is a producer or designer on the current game. And Richard was trying really hard to sort of have Star be involved. But I get the impression that Star really gets the short end of the stick a lot because he's working with Richard Garriott. Yeah.
He does, but he's been around for forever.
He has been around for forever. Yeah. So anyway, it was just so crazy that here in this small little booth, I got to meet a guy that pretty much changed my life as a gamer, right? I mean, forever, I am an Ultima Online nerd, and, let's hope the Shroud of the Avatar is awesome. But we got in beta, and I think Swifter and I are going to go in and try to cause some trouble in this game.
Nice.
So,
yeah, Ultima Online, that was something, and I was trying to jump in on you and Swifter's discussion of it, because I only ever heard stories by proxy from a friend of a friend. And I remember we'd be sitting there playing Tony Hawk or whatever, but he would just sit there and regale us with these insane stories of what you could do in Ultima Online. I was like, how? So I was like, that's
the game? It was Eve before Eve was Eve. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, and so
it's just they're awesome.
Yeah, it's always blown my mind hearing what you could do in that game, and it's kind of crazy that it's kind of not been repeated, really, that kind of depth of an experience in an online sort of MMO game.
Shroud hopes to do it, but we'll see.
It's hard. We'll see.
Never. It will never do it for you. Weed, I'm sorry.
Should we? Hey, don't step on what little.
Look,
bit
I'm
of
just
the
making
dream
sure
is
your
left.
expectations are low, so when it comes out, you're not just like,
Exactly.
we
I know.
don't see
I
you
know.
like in a corner just fucking shaking.
That'll be me anyway. Should we talk about do a really quick now playing? Normally at the beginning of the show, we talk about what everyone's been playing. Of course, we have a ton more to talk about as far as E3 and the wrap-up and stuff, but I want to do it really quick. I know I've played just one thing I want to talk about, but JP, you've gone through
More like what's
few
JP
things.
been playing, I think.
Yeah, a little bit this week. Yeah. So what do you got?
Well, I think last Friday I went and bought Mario Kart 8 because it was on sale. Did 2 races, and that's a Mario Kart game. I haven't played it since. Like
That was it? Like you didn't...
Really?
yeah, I didn't get hooked. I don't know.
Huh.
I guess because I'm just racing against AI, and I'm just like, this is fucking boring. Like, what am I doing?
Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
I guess I could go play online, but then I'm just gonna be like, fuck, these people are so fucking good. Like, god damn it.
Yeah.
People are the best at this
Oh,
video
you're
game.
concerned that you want to play with some other, Mario
Friends.
Kart noobs? Is that what you're
Probably, yeah.
saying? Okay.
You want to play against like little kids,
Yeah.
right?
No, they'll fucking beat me. I want to play against bad players.
There you go. Yeah.
What
You
if?
just
Little
want to win.
kids. Yeah, I just want to win.
How about
And
I go
never,
get it
Never got out of first.
and we set mini wheat up? And
You want to do a
can-
mini wheat versus
Oh,
JP
mini wheat
race?
versus JP? We'll see.
All right.
Dad setting up the sun for the.
Yeah.
No,
Let's
it
do
could be a good race. I'm kind of
Thanks,
I'm
man.
with you on that, JP. Outside of racing with your friends in Mario Kart, the AI has always just driven me nuts in that game. It
Yeah,
just,
like I got blue shelled or whatever, like 40 times, sitting in first place on like this 150. It's just like, well, this is fucking stupid. Like, it's actually better strategy to sit second until the last lap.
right.
Take
Or
first.
I feel like you could get like so far ahead, and then just like by that third lap, you could just watch them rubber band like
Yeah,
right
exactly.
up. It's like, brrr. You're like, but like
Yeah.
I think like Jeff said, that's not really what it's
Yeah.
about. It's about playing with friends.
I enjoy watching people like Frag actually, who is just like fucking some guru at this game, like doing world record time trial runs, and I'm just like, Frag, what the fuck, man? This is a kart game. Why
Is
are you?
he? Wow.
He's getting close. He was like 3 or 4 seconds off from the world record the other day on some map. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, like you can download the ghost. I think it's pretty cool. You can download the ghost of like the #1 lap in the world or whatever, and like see their line, and then you can just copy it, and then your time will improve, et cetera, et cetera. So that was cool to see.
Sweet.
But yeah, I've only done 2 races.
Did
I
it
was
look
actually
good to
excited
you?
for-
Were you like, oh,
Yeah,
it look,
graphically, it's an amazing looking
okay.
game.
Yeah, because
Uh,
it does look great.
It looks fantastic, yeah. But yeah, I was more excited because with that, you get a free game. So I ended up getting Wind Waker HD, and I
Did you
never
get
played
any
it.
free game?
There's like 5 games you can choose from. I think.
Oh wow!
You get I think it's like Mario Brothers, Wind Waker, Luigi Bros, or whatever the fuck that's called. Then there's one other.
Luigi.
Show some respect.
What? No, it's fucking Luigi. I don't care.
Well, you said Mario Brothers. Like, what was that? Mario.
I think it's the new Super Mario
World?
Brothers U or Wii U or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Because I
which
still
is
have
a
to play
game,
3D
yeah.
World, which looks incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Pikmin 3 was the other one, which just
Nice.
don't buy that. Bad game.
Yeah. Old Nintendo.
Wind Waker's good. That game
It
looks
is.
gorgeous. I am really
I
impressed.
always love that one. I never understood the hate for that one.
I was one of the guys who went into it like ready to hate it because when I first saw the redesign of everything, I was like,
Sure.
"What are they doing?" Because for
Right.
me, I like the gritty. Give me the more realistic. Like if they came out with a Zelda where you could just like hack Ganon's head off and like blood spurted out, I'd be like, the perfect Zelda.
That would be not quite the audience they're going for.
Yeah.
Well, they they think, right? But I'll
Well,
still
that's
open
true.
my pocketbook, Nintendo, and that's one of the things I actually want to talk about when we get to Nintendo, later on. But
So maybe we need an M-rated Zelda game.
I think
There
it's called
you go.
Dark Souls.
A guy can right.
Right.
But just getting back to Wind Waker, I was ready to hate it, but then playing it, it's just gorgeous. The cell shaded style won me over immediately. Just
It looks so good in HD too, man. Like so good. The water is so crisp. And there's not a lot of textures in that game, right?
yeah,
So when it's HDified, like it just looks so sharp. It looks so good.
yeah.
So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
So
And
was
that's it. I played CS:GO
All right.
more. I beat Dark Souls 2 on Thursday. Fucking last boss is a giant goddamn letdown. Everything else in that game was fantastic.
Yeah.
So
But yeah.
I just have to mention this game, you guys. Like, do you guys remember Final Fantasy Mystic Quest?
Yeah. It was
Yes. On the Super
terribly
Nintendo.
good.
Oh, okay.
No,
That was squares, like like they're just lobbing the.
I remember
Western-
the
Yeah.
cartridge was like that sword up in the air, like at the angle, and it said Mystic Quest. I remember.
Yeah, it was like baby's first Final Fantasy or something.
it was like, yes, it was because like you suck at RPGs.
Yes.
Mystic Quest, like you could beat this thing
Yes.
in a few hours, you know.
Right.
Well, all right, so Rovio announced Angry Birds Epic, which was going to be it's a Angry Birds RPG, right? Like a little.
God damn it!
I got to tell you, man, this thing is trash. Like trash,
Surprise.
bona fide
I'm stunned.
trash. Have you played it, Jeff, or looked? I mean,
No, because it's an Angry Birds RPG. That just sounds fucking
it's
horrible.
just trash. Like, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I was like, actually, so, you know, I understand when apps are like, hey, rate our app, you know, after a couple of turns. And I swear to God, after like the second step of the tutorial, and the tutorial lasts like an hour, it's like, do you like this shit? But, you know, 5-star. And I'm like, no, this is trash. First off, why would you ask me into the second stage and let me play a few more before, you know, to find out if this is actually terrible? It's terrible.
How much was it?
It's free, which means that it's an RPG that somehow will work in
You have
in-app
to
purchases.
buy levels. Like, how does this work?
No, you just go through just
you
like
make
a
it to the microtransactions before you closed it.
no, you.
Okay.
But it's an RPG.
So what's the deal here?
Shame
Like,
on you, Rovio. Shame.
So since it's an RPG, do you get to choose? Like, could I role play one of the pigs? Say.
Yeah.
No.
Or do you buy like
No.
different beats for the bird?
No.
It's
What's
like you have the red bird. The red bird is a knight. Oh, look, you unlock the
Oh,
triangle
jeez.
bird. He is a caster. It's
And do those things have any relation? This is a totally stupid question because honestly, I don't care a whole lot. But do the roles correspond to their gameplay
not
in
really.
Angry Birds?
Not really, dude.
No?
It's lazy.
So they don't even do
it's
that.
just lazy. And you know why? People are like, then why are you so pissed? Why do you even care? Because I had such a great experience with South Park, right? Something where it was like, we're going to make it an RPG and we're going to own this shit and it's going to be awesome. And I'm not saying that like, I mean, I just feel like this is lazy bullshit, you know,
But
just
this is like it's like night and day though. You're talking about the South Park guys who themselves are hardcore gamers, right?
Right.
So they're super, and the guys who help them make the game is Obsidian, who have spent their entire career making RPGs.
I know, but you're right. Obviously, I'm comparing, bananas
These are the
to
people that
oranges
charge
for
$60
sure.
for Angry Birds on the PS4, right? Nothing will
I'm
ever
just-
get me to play their game ever again.
I don't know. You know what I'm happy about? Here's the one good thing walking away from it. It's not called Angry Birds RPG. It's called Angry Birds Epic. It is the opposite of that, but at least they aren't
What
tarnishing.
is the actual gameplay? Like, what are you doing in this?
It's supposed to be an RPG where like pigs come up and then it's like you just drag your pig or your bird where you want to on the pig and there's no real variation and it's trash.
That's what I was going to get to, is like the combat, because the thing for me that I just can't do anymore is the selecting, like fight, magic, run on a menu thing. That's me personally. Like I would much rather have a more like tactile, combat experience. I was gonna say if they had a thing where you were kind of like slinging the birds into the pigs still,
right. At least something. I'm thinking, and thank you, man, because I'm thinking when they first announced this, I'm thinking Super Mario RPG.
That's what I was about to say.
Right?
Away,
I mean, that's the first thing that comes to your mind, and it's not. It's not even close.
Right.
It's
I mean,
lazy.
the thing is, like, these guys, I mean, they don't give a shit, right? I mean, they're not, you can't really think of Rovio as like a game company. You know, it's just sort of like a,
Jeff's going in, damn.
I mean, who are we kidding? Like they're just in it to just milk people out of money. That's their thing. They're not. Is there a gamer on staff there? I know I'm being so mean there. If there's gamers on staff at Rovio, I love you, and I didn't mean you personally. I meant all the other guys.
I
that
I
aren't
what you mean though. They they have a brand. They have that brand, and they are ready to just slap that on anything they can. And they kind of know at this point that there are people out there that they see Angry Birds anything. They're like, oh, I'll eat that up, and I don't know.
Yeah, right.
All right, I'm sorry we spent so much time on Angry Birds
So much
Epic, but I was just like, I can't even believe it, man. It's just anyway.
But you can create your own trailer. I wonder if you could put dust in it.
You put your face in there, man. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. All right, is it time? Anything else? If someone's like, I played this and I got to tell you about it.
The other stuff I've played is E3 related with Destiny and the Battlefield
Okay.
hardline.
Yeah, I got my alpha key, but I don't have a PS4 to use it, so
No.
I'm gonna have to get on
They
that.
didn't hand you a PS4 as well?
Yeah, I know.
Those assholes. What the fuck?
Yeah, I just want to say I got it from the PlayStation Twitter account. This guy saw me on the floor. He's like, "Hey," he's like, "Man, I got something for you." He's like, "Follow the PlayStation account," which I already was, and so yeah, I was DM'd. I was given the code from PlayStation.
Nice.
PlayStation was just like, "There you go."
Should have been like, "Do you have a PS4 with that?"
Yeah,
I think that Sony's doing an amazing job, by the way. It wasn't until I was at E3 that I understood that Destiny was not a PS4 exclusive.
I thought it was a fucking PS4 exclusive too.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
They done good.
pretty smart.
They
It
done
is.
good.
I mean, you only saw it come out of Sony. Like, I never saw. I think it was in like a trailer for Xbox One when they did like a montage of games, and that was it. You saw like a little logo, and that's it.
Yeah,
Never
you're
heard
right.
them mention it.
You're right.
They had a great booth, and I also want to say that Microsoft also had a great booth. Everybody I thought had a great booth over there. But
Let's start with Microsoft. Why don't we? They were the first conference that kind of kicked off E3. I don't know if I didn't see the booth. Maybe you guys. I'm sure Jeff and Man, you got a chance to see the booth. What'd you think?
I guess I'll just jump in first. I thought they had a great showing. Just a lot of games. They had a lot of indie games as well. I always love to see that. Maybe not as much a focus on that as like Sony, but still, you could tell that was like the MO this year. It was like games.
Yeah.
Like when Major Nelson came by and got on the Twitch stream, that's all he wanted to talk about. He just wanted to make sure that people knew that Microsoft was about the games.
Yeah.
No talking about TV or all of that.
Yeah, they didn't even mention the Kinect. It was like you couldn't say the K word.
The
in their
K word
entire,
did not come up.
Yeah.
Never, ever.
Which I will tell you, though, one of the games that I went away from E3 most impressed with, even though it was in such an early stage of development, was this game called Fru, F-R-U. If you look into it...
Yeah, I've seen this.
F-R-U?
Yes,
It's
F-R-U.
pretty rad.
It's a 2D platformer. Again, extremely early in development, but it uses the Kinect. And so are you guys familiar with Guacamelee?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they have like a phasing thing where you could switch, and so when you switch to one phase, there'll be a platform where there wasn't. So it's kind of like that. It has that phasing, but instead of switching, the outline of your body is like the phase, and so so you have to. You're doing the 2D platforming, but then you're also having to put your hand up here to reveal the platform, and you jump using the shoulder buttons. Because it's designed to be able to control the guy, right analog or left analog. You can move with either.
I did see this. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just one of those experiences where I was like, wow, that's a really creative.
It's really smart.
Huh, that's cool.
Yeah, fresh. It wasn't just like the dance thing or controlling the game with your body, but
Yeah.
I liked it. So Fruit definitely got my whatever recommend.
I think I saw that at PAX.
Cool.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like one of 4 Kinect games coming out in the next 3 years.
Like you said,
Harmonix and Fru can just they're going to be at the Kinect party, and it's just going to be those 4 guys.
So Microsoft kicked off their whole thing with the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare trailer, and I mean, I guess we can chat a little bit about that. But
Yeah.
the part that I remember more than anything from that trailer. There's 2 parts. The part with all the drones that almost looked like alien-like, where the drones were swarming together, which looked totally rad.
Straight up Matrix.
Yeah, look great.
But were they really trying to get me to cry during this trailer, or what was this music
when the guy lost his
down?
arm? Is that what you're talking about?
The part where he's
Spoilers?
like, don't worry, man. We'll get you out of here. It was just.
But they always do that bullshit, right?
But
like
I mean,
that.
it was
whenever you see
way
the Call of
over
Duty
the
games
top.
first
Like
time-
they wanted me to grab the Kleenex
well,
or something.
If you want to talk about way over the top, let's talk about the Sims or the fucking Ubisoft conference. We'll get to that later, but
We'll get to that. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I noticed most about the Call of Duty thing that it's like the billionth trailer now to kind of do the Inception. You know, every minute of that.
I can't watch Battlefield trailers anymore because that's all that shit is.
Yeah, but I have to say, I did think that trailer looked awesome.
I actually want to play a Call of Duty game, so
and I want to play it too.
Accomplished.
Yeah, mission accomplished for me. That's for sure.
It looked well. It's what happens whenever Call of Duty game gets announced, right? They show this trailer, it looks awesome, and then you start seeing the multiplayer. Then by the time it comes out, you're just like, nah, just fuck that. I don't want to go shoot people in multiplayer. But if the single player is good, if Sledgehammer actually knocks it out of the, or is it Sledgehammer? Yeah.
Who is it?
Yes.
Yeah, this time.
If they do a good job, I'll play the single player.
Yeah, I was definitely interested. I like the I like the sort of like fantasy aspect in my games, and so like the real. Like the Modern Warfare and stuff where it's you're mostly just using guns of the day, and that's cool and that's fine, but I loved seeing sort of like the future tech because because one of my favorite first person shooters for all time will forever be Perfect Dark. I loved like the laptop gun, and then you throw that and it's like it's its own whatever gun on the wall stuck there, but so that's what really interests me, I guess, and what could possibly, get me playing that.
And the trailer looked good. I didn't see it in person or anything, but I would think it looks pretty fucking good on next gen. So I don't know. I was actually interested in Call of Duty for once, and I think it was a good starting point for Microsoft to do that. Obviously, it makes sense.
Yeah,
that's their bread and butter, at least with the mainstream.
It's like obligatory, so it's like, well, let's just start it off with that, and we'll get that up.
The nice thing is that right after or was it before or after where Phil came out, and it was like. That was the only talking in the entire conference except for the Fable bullshit, which I've just erased from my memory. Where like there was actually just a talking head, and then everything else just like fucking gameplay. It was.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It was. Yeah, that actually made me think. I mean, this is a separate point, but it did make me think that going forward, they almost don't need the audience. Like in a way, I thought like Nintendo got a lot of shit earlier on, like a month or so ago, when they announced that they weren't going to do a press conference. Yeah. And now, kind of in retrospect, they sort of look like the smart ones.
Coming out of it, they did the best.
They actually, I can't hold it in any longer. Like Nintendo fucking killed it this year.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, so I want to tell you a strategy from my perspective, right? Because we had them on the Twitch stage as well, and like we got to see what happened during day 0 and then into day 1, but. So they, for those that don't know, on Tuesday, after all the big press conferences happened, they did what they called the Nintendo Digital Direct, and it's a pre-recorded thing. Now, first and foremost, if you guys didn't see it, like you have to go back and watch this hour. They have the robot chicken guys doing all the in-between stuff. They have this awesome Iwata Reggie fight at the beginning. That's just like it's so
bizarre, man.
It is bizarre, but it was like
the first 10
okay,
minutes that were just like, is this actually Nintendo?
Is this happening? Yes,
right.
And so it's for the first time I'm like, holy shit, man, they're actually speaking to me again, and I'm like, they've got my attention. So then
they acknowledged the Luigi death stare.
Yes,
I mean, so that it was hard to know if they even had heard of the internet.
Right,
so, very true.
So then after that, they go, okay, guys, our direct is over, and people are like, well, wait a second, you actually didn't even show us that much. And they said, well, don't worry. We're going to be running the Treehouse all day, every day during E3, and we're going to be announcing something new every day. And that's what they did. They just went over the stuff that they, people knew about, they've announced, and then every day they announced something new. And they had some of the best numbers throughout the show that anyone else had, than any other publisher.
They had more numbers than the main Twitch stream
on the second and third day. And it makes sense, right? Because they're still making content and giving you stuff that no one knows about. Everything is usually at the front, and then it's like, okay, I'm so E3'd out.
So
and Nintendo is like, you're keeping me. They were the drug dealers of E3, man. They got you. Here's the taste. Here's the taste. Keep coming back, and they did. They did.
It was
fantastic job.
I feel it was a really
Yeah.
intelligent use of Twitch as the platform for like mass
Yes.
communication.
And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
E3 has been going on for so long. Like Jeff's been going for 19 years now.
19th E3.
There's 20. He missed one. He's not
I
perfect.
missed the very first one.
Yeah. Well, and then DJ, we like ninth. I love how DJ was like, I think it's my ninth. I don't even know anymore. This was my first, by the way. But yes, in the past, the idea has been, get the media down there. We'll play to the big room of everybody in the media. The media
Right.
will then go tell everybody about what's going on. Nintendo's like, let's just cut out that middleman. We'll just get our message directly out to you.
Right.
And absolutely, I think the Nintendo's Treehouse event was definitely the direction that we'll see more people going as we go.
Totally.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't. Microsoft. It was. I thought they had a great conference. They filled that arena. It looked good. The presentation was, as you guys said. The focus on games was fantastic. But in the end, though, like the fact that they streamed it was probably that was what the impact was. Like
Right.
they didn't need that crowd there, especially because so much of the crowd is basically just like insiders and journalists and. My Twitter feed was all snark all the time. I mean,
I was snarking up.
but everybody
days,
was
man.
snarking, right? Because that's what we do. But why not fill it instead? Get rid of us, because screw us, and fill it with like 5,000, fans who are just going to be woo, and then broadcast it on TV so that the people on TV and on Twitch can see the whole crowd going crazy.
Right.
I mean, I think these things have outlived their purpose as in-person professional events for professionals. I don't think it's necessary anymore.
Nintendo probably saved a fuck ton of money to not doing anything like the conference. Like that stuff probably cost like $1 million easy for one of those conferences.
Totally.
And Nintendo sat there and like instead of using that $1 million for that, they probably used a couple $100,000 for like Robot Chicken and then the Mecha fucking Reggie shit, whatever that was from what was that, Mega 64 guys?
Yeah.
But yeah, they did a very good job.
So
they did a very smart job.
can I bring up something that I didn't really get a chance to talk about it too much during the E3 streams. A lot of the day, especially on day 0, the press conference day got a little squished in. But did anyone else get the feeling that although Xbox had a nice "Hey, here are games" conference, that in terms of sort of Microsoft stuff, the stuff that I need that Xbox One to play, it was not the greatest thing ever.
All they showed was Fable, right?
And
Was that the
Sunset
only first
Overdrive,
part?
which
Oh,
I
Sunset
will
Overdrive.
play Sunset Overdrive,
Sunset Overdrive
if
looked
anything,
good.
because I need a fucking excuse to play my Xbox One. And that one looks like a good one,
And their trailer was one of the smartest trailers of E3, where they just shit all over on like modern shooters.
Right.
Where the guy's
Yeah,
like
it's
sitting
good.
behind cover, and then the guy like rolls in and like I think he flicked him off or something stupid. Maybe that's what I imagine it to be, because that's what it felt like. But it was a smart trailer, so good on the Insomniac.
And Halo, as somebody mentioned in
Of course.
in the chat.
The thing is, like, are they getting a new audience with that title, or are they just appealing all of the
What
Halo
title?
With
fans? It's
Halo?
like Halo Collection, because we don't know shit about Halo 5 yet. Still,
No, we don't.
this was all about the Halo Collection.
What
right?
do you think, Jeff? And I'll give my thoughts.
I mean, well, first of all, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
Because I like the idea of having the entire series that I can play on one platform. Right?
And it's all new. It's
That's
HD
super
now,
nice,
yeah.
and it's all HD. Is it going to renew interest in that franchise, or I don't know. I mean, they're probably going to sell a lot. Actually, they'll probably sell a shit ton of that.
They'll probably do well.
Yeah.
Well, of course,
but
because
if
it's
I
going
were
to
them, I
include.
would keep the price point low.
$40, I'd probably be a good.
40?
Nah, full
Well, they already
price.
said it was 60, but I think
You
they said
guys
it was
are
60.
crazy.
Crazy.
This is going to come out full price. It
Well, I
has
think
the
they already
Halo
said it.
beta. It has the Halo 5 multiplayer beta, and it
Okay,
has the
well-
Halo television show. This shit's going to be full price.
Oh, yeah, it's got
and,
that
and
TV
people
show.
are going to pay that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably
Nice.
will. You're right.
Yeah. Wasn't it like hundreds of like multiplayer maps?
It's got every DLC.
Every single one.
Oh, they
Yeah.
said.
Multiplayer.
I mean, it's a
Kinda
pretty
not-
neat collection.
They said it was
Actually.
60, yeah.
Yeah. And like you said, it's always nice having like the whole series, like Bungie's trilogy, like all of those games
right.
on one platform.
Right.
The HD remake, I think, were they saying it was 1080p, like 60 frames a second? I think
That's what they're promising, I think.
Yeah, but
Or saying, like, I don't know. They were.
The thing is, I mean, I guess to DJ's point, I mean, it's not new, right? None of that's new. I mean, for a new console. Right, where is all the new IP?
That's what it felt like to me. It felt like to me like it's one of those games. They were like, it's not going to take that much dev work. Let's just get it out there. We got to have something for 2014. We don't have any fucking other shit, guys. We need some fucking games.
Yeah.
And it was better than EA, where they just showed fucking like, here are the developers talking about games that might come out in 2017. Like, we don't know. It's all prototypes.
So, well, Fable Legends was something that, you know, they did unveil that is an exclusive. Anyone have any thoughts on that?
So uninterested.
I think it's interesting that there's 2 4v1 games all of a sudden at the same time. I mean, between this and Evolve, you know, because Legends is 4v1. I mean, you don't have to play it that way, but if you want to, and I don't think they've stressed it as hard yet, but the villain, I mean, it is 4 heroes on the one side, and the villain in Fable Legends can be another player. So, and I thought what is cool about that is that the villain, if you're playing as the villain in Fable Legends, it's more like an RTS. You get like an overview perspective, and you can set down traps and cast spells and stuff. So it's almost kind of got like a dungeon master feel to it.
That's
you know. Yeah. So that's sort of neat, right? I mean,
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell how that fits in with Fable as an IP, but I think
it seems like the kart racer of Fable to me. Like that's what that game honestly feels like looking at it. But
I think like Jeff kind of hit it on the head there with the comparison to like sort of like a D&D setup where you know, the 4 players, they're the players, and then the person who's the villain gets to sort of set up and make it as difficult as they can for the players, which I think is cool. I think it's there's a cool balance there.
I think if you took out if you took out the villain as a human, then you're probably just looking at a kind of like a basic dungeon crawler, right?
Yeah,
I don't know what that would be bringing to the party.
At that point.
But the 1 could make it interesting.
Was that playable, by the way, anywhere? Or was it only trailer?
No.
I think they did have it at their
playable.
I seem to recall, seeing it at the Microsoft booth. I thought I saw people playing it. Yes.
Did you guys play Evolve?
Nope. I watched plenty of it.
Everyone's got the fucking biggest hard on for that game, and I'm just like, it's Left 4 Dead. Like, is that going to be fun?
I don't think I do.
Really?
You're
the first person I've ever
looked.
It looks
great.
Yeah, it looks great, and I just have this feeling it's going to be fun it's going to be like that sprint of fun.
Exactly.
And then
is it going to be fun the 40th time doing the same thing? That's where I'm just like, I hated Left 4 Dead for that. It was fun the first time.
Yeah, that's true.
And Swifter and John Carnage from the E3 coverage team were on like a little tournament team that played, and I mean, I heard it from 3 or 4 people that played in it that right now Medic is mad OP, and they have balancing to do. But they all said, you know, it's fun. To me,
that's what everyone said that's played it. Like, they all said they were worried about it, and they were just like, it was a blast. I want to go play more Evolve. And I'm like,
I thought it was fun to play, and I thought it was fun to watch too. Like, I think that game is actually good. Is going to be good on Twitch.
It caught my
other
attention.
things.
Yeah. Like, one of the days I fell asleep watching one of the rebroadcasts of the tournaments because I thought it was engaging. I love the idea of one person being this sort of gargantuan mutant, just sort of running out and trying to eat, as many creatures and get powered up as quickly as possible. I don't know. I liked it. It definitely was fun to watch, from my perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's partially going to depend on like what can they keep bringing to the party. Like if they're going to add new stuff to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
That's going to be one thing. And the other thing is really, I mean, I guess this is true of any multiplayer game, but it's going to be the caliber of players, right? If a team is really like communicating and doing stuff cool together, like that could be fun. And also, you want the monster guy to actually be good too. Right. Like I watched one round where the guy basically just like at the smallest level, right at the beginning, just rushed the heroes, and he was dead. It was like, okay, well,
That was probably Swifter.
Swifter
Does anybody know?
stoked.
Yeah, we were part of Team Chobot, and so apparently the first day we lost, and Swifter was having a tough time. But I think that was his master plan because he had Jessica Chobot, rubbing him down like, "Oh, it's okay."
That
So,
was I think they got third maybe.
Yeah, I don't blame you, Swifter, at all. So.
But aside from Fable Legends, and we mentioned Sunset Overdrive, they announced Dance Central Spotlight, which I don't know if that's an exclusive thing or what.
That was like, hey, we're still alive. We're still making a video game.
And then the only other thing, aside from the Halo that they didn't show anything of, was Project Spark and announcing that Conquer is going to be in it. You guys,
annoying thing to have done.
Someone's I don't remember who said it, but someone just said, is anyone from Rare still over there that actually likes that? Is it now just Rare in spirit? And there's no one over there with that same idea, spark, passion that Rare, used to make everything they made excellent. Because I just feel like, what the hell is going on with them? If the most they've given us in 1 year is Conquer in Project Spark, what is going on?
Pretty frustrating.
It's kind of sad, definitely.
And there was no Quantum Break.
There was
no Quantum Break, but there were a couple other new games, weren't there?
There was Forza Horizon 2, which I know Wheat's a big fan of racing, so he was really into that.
there was like a dragon game, right? There was some. What was it with the scales? What was it?
Oh, that was a new Platinum Games.
Platinum Games, right?
Scalebound or I forgot what the name of it was.
Yeah,
it's like a CG. All it was a CG trailer.
But that caught my attention immediately because Platinum, for me,
it's dragons and there's a guy with a sword. Like, all right, you got it.
It's like,
we'll see what it looks like.
I would love to see it.
See what it looks like. I guess as the one racing fan here in some degree, Horizon looked pretty good. I thought the trailer was fun. I enjoyed the music, which is why I played the first Horizon because the soundtrack was so fucking good. I'm an EDM guy. That was really fun to listen to. Still fucking bummed out that it's 1080p 30. Like, I wish that was 1080p 60 so bad. It would look so much better. And they have like some sort of off-roading in it where you can just like the first Horizon was very guided in where you could go. There was like 2 foot tall fences that you couldn't break through because of video games. But now you can actually just like go through them and you can off-road some. So that's pretty cool.
It's so interesting to me too that they would opt for like 1080p with 30 frames because like with a racing game, like I would think the smoothness of the experience would be very important. So,
but then you're on an Xbox One and it can't do it. So
and that's where I wish they would opt for like 720p and then 60, go for 60 there. Yeah. If you just technically can't do it.
Like console world, like 1080p is a better thing than 60 FPS because they don't know anything.
I know.
Right.
I'm just
that's
weird.
the PC like overlord, but yeah.
yeah.
And Chad also mentioned Phantom Dust, right?
That was right. Weird. Did you guys play that? Did you know what that was when they announced it?
I knew what it was. I mean, that game came out in 2004, so it's an old game. It came out for the original Xbox, and it was a funny thing to reboot. And yeah, you could definitely tell in the crowd at the time it was like. They announced it, and it was like I think they were expecting like a bigger cheer. Well, but I think it was basically like the 5% of us over 40 who went woo.
They hyped it really bad. They were like, "We brought you Killer Instinct, and we're talking about other IPs that we wanted to bring back." And then here's this really cool CG trailer, and then it says Phantom Dust, and we're all just like, "What the fuck?" What was that?
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, that game was like way ahead of its time. I mean, I think
it was
that
a card game,
might actually,
right?
Right, it's an action game in which you also have like cards and you're playing the cards. So it's something that at the time was probably weird, but now I think we would all get it. So
you think they brought that back because of Hearthstone? Is that anywhere related?
I doubt it because this was probably in the works before Hearthstone released. I think that it probably goes back to, I'm guessing, I don't know, you could be right, but my guess is that this has to do with some point at which they realized within the last year that they had fucked up last E3. They needed to get credibility again with core gamers.
Sure. And
they like looked in their library and they, I don't know if this was necessarily the one, maybe they had others, but they wanted to do something to appeal to the core, which this does. But
sure. Yeah. Well, the core that played it.
The other
Or knows what
Right.
it is.
The other thing that they did announce, which kind of rounded it out, was, and I was happy about this, not Crackdown 3, but just Crackdown, which is great because, you know, I wasn't a fan of 2, but Crackdown 1, I feel like was a solid and incredible game, and there was a lot to like about it.
That
And
game's always just felt weird to me.
why is that?
It always feels like a game that they promote the fuck out of, but it's out there to promote another game. Like with Crackdown 2, they gave Halo 3 away beta.
That's why I think it's called Crackdown, because I think they're just going to...
Or Crackdown 2, I guess. Whatever.
They're going to give it, yes. So Crackdown, the original Crackdown was for Halo 3, and I think Crackdown 2 is for
And that's why everyone
Reach or
bought it.
something.
Like it sold
I
fucking
know, but
super well.
I bought in, and then I loved that game. Did you, and Greenspeak, did you play Crackdown?
I played the first one, not the second one, and I liked it a lot.
Okay.
It was pretty cool.
I'm out.
It was
I'm
like
out.
Saints
Oh,
Row
okay.
4 before Saints Row 4
You
New
could
Wave.
Yeah,
shoot
that's a good call.
tires,
Yeah.
and it was actually the greatest thing ever. I mean, it was the first game I can remember where, you know, a car would be coming at you a million miles an hour. You would shoot a
Right.
tire, and it would react and respond the way that you would
Sure.
expect a
It's
car. that
definitely a
just-
power fantasy game, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
When you're jumping from like building to building, I mean, that's a cool thing, right? But I guess I just want, like, what is it that's new in this? What's going to be more? Because they only showed CG, right?
yeah, they
There's
did.
no gameplay.
They
Yeah.
did, but it's the new more is that it's next generation. We can actually like make a
Is that
mission
enough?
where you blow up the.
I guess.
I don't know.
For me, it's not enough.
I
It's
don't know.
not enough.
Didn't they show, was Assassin's Creed in Microsoft?
They did show.
Yes, it was.
Okay,
Yes,
that's
it
right.
was.
That's where they revealed the multiplayer.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, and Tomb Raider too, right?
Oh,
You saw-
Tomb Raider was actually the best part for me.
Yeah, Tomb Raider looked great. I thought.
They devoted very little to that, though. I was very surprised with how it was kind of like, oh yeah, we're doing a new Tomb Raider game. Here's like a very short trailer, and that's it. Like there was it
Yeah.
wasn't spotlighted at all. And it was towards the back end of the conference as well. Like
Well, that got more time and attention than Fantasia did.
yeah, well that's true. Well, I mean it's that K word, man. You can't say that. They didn't even say K word in that.
I felt so bad for those guys for harmonics. It was literally 1 minute that they got. The word connect didn't come up. They didn't even show the game. It was almost more like they said, "What? Could you guys come on stage and just, you got 60 seconds. Just say something and then get the fuck off. And please don't mention the word connect."
Yeah, God.
Yeah.
Poor
In
guy.
fact, I think the one time I remember Connect being mentioned was the segment I did with Major Nelson, and the only thing he was hitting on was that you would be able to buy an Xbox One without X.
Yeah.
So that was
They never mentioned the new SKU at all. Only in the trailer at the end.
No.
Well, right, I'm sure they didn't because, they still want people to pay $100 more.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, do you guys all have Xbox Ones?
I do.
I do.
I
It's
don't.
Not you,
It's
man.
my dustiest.
Well, you're the smart one here.
Yeah,
You're going to get the cheaper one.
Well,
You're going to get the one without the $100 brick.
And he's gonna have a game to play it when he buys it eventually.
well, and that's the thing. Yeah, Fru, like, really, I was like, I would totally get a Connect for that. No, I still have yet to jump into the current gen now.
Is there a game right now on Xbox One that like you could tell people is like the game that you want to buy when you get one? I don't.
For the Connect?
No, just for the Xbox One. Like what is
the Xbox
game?
One in general?
I
I
don't.
think it's going to be Sunset, but even then,
You know,
I don't
Dead
know.
Rising 3, I guess that's like.
How Titanfall?
Oh yeah, there's
Titanfall.
Titanfall, but play it on the PC if you have a PC.
I mean, to be honest, Halo 3 sold me my Xbox 360, and the game I'm thinking about right now is just the Halo Master Chief Collection. I would pick it up for that and just do some, because I had a blast doing all the multiplayer with that, with my friends.
Sure.
But no, I'm kind of a Sony guy. Sorry.
That's
Yeah.
perfectly fine, man. Versus
Yeah,
game.
this-
We like Sony
We're
guys.
probably
on
all
this
with you.
show. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the PSologist. He's recruiting.
We had a good show this year
This game
too.
to his cause.
EA was the next one up.
Fucking
They of
shittiest
course
goddamn console.
yeah. So I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I mean, I was kind of snoring during any and all sports stuff. It's just not. It's not mine. It's not
Yep.
for me.
Highlight of that conference was when the MANvsGAME came out and started talking about their games. like with his goddamn leather.
Yeah.
That was
I gotta say, I used to be on the payroll twice with EA, and I gotta say, so I gotta be a little bit careful, but or not, if I had been in a position to be able to advise them beforehand, and I looked at what they were going to do and looked at their lineup, I would have said, why don't we skip E3 this year?
Why don't we do what Nintendo?
Yeah.
Why don't we just not
Hold
have
on,
a press conference?
Jeff,
what are we actually showing?
Jeff, what if we could actually send people to go talk to devs about making games and then show that at E3? Would that interest you? Does that sound like a good idea?
You know, but
why don't we just stay home this year?
Okay, you're right. That's a fucking stupid idea.
It's smart, even though, JP, that is ridiculous. And especially when Jeff says it, it's even more ridiculous because I agree they should have. But I feel like they rode on the, if people just see Mass Effect, then they are going to be hype as fuck for Mass Effect. And that's what we need.
That little like music. And the shit music,
I mean,
I got excited.
Right? Like, you're like, oh, shit, And the same thing with Mirror's Edge, too. I'm actually, like, this is what I wish they would have done with Beyond Good and Evil 2 at Ubisoft. I wish that more companies would do this, at least to be like, they're not showing, I'm not going to fake any gameplay. I'm not going to give you shit. I'm not, but as someone who's excited, I'm going to make you even more fucking excited. And right? It's the tease, man. That's it, right?
See, and I am with you on that, where I appreciate that instead of coming with like this, sort of like CG trailer that, is just like pure hype. I like the more genuine approach of, talking with the developers who, like what their ideas are for the game, showing actual footage of what they have so far.
Yeah.
So because
and labeled accordingly.
But is that E3 conference material, or is that something you show like in the interim between the next conference?
Well, I would throw out mine, and then, man, you tell me. You know what? When you put it amongst all of your other stuff, like you couldn't come to the conference and just be like, "Here's 10 developer diaries. Have fun."
That's what they did, though.
They didn't. They didn't. Only for Mass Effect.
You guys remember that? It leaked 2 weeks ago.
Only for Mass Effect. Only for Mirror's Edge, and then they actually released a beta after announcing
Star Wars
the game.
and Criterion. They did the dev interviews as well. It was their whole conference.
The Criterion thing was not smart. They should not have showed anything that early, I didn't think. But I agree with you, DJ. I think that the Hardline thing was actually smart. I mean, yes, it leaked, but it was super smart that like they announced the beta like right that minute. I mean, Twitter and NeoGAF blew up just on that, on people hyped to get the beta. Like that was a good move.
It was good. They played it and it started to wane, but like it was very.
They at least got the interest right there. You know?
It crashed Origin, it crashed the website.
Right. Right.
And that's those EA servers. That's a fuck ton of people.
And you get that attention. And I would love to see more of those kinds of announcements in the future. Like Sega did it long ago with like the Sega Saturn. Where they're just like, and it's going to be on sale tonight. Like those kind of where you're not just going to be looking at something down the road. Like Sony did that with Entwined. We can get to that later, but I love that kind of thing where they show it, like boom, hype it up, and then it's just like you can buy this
now.
Yeah.
Right. That's Apple's thing, right? Apple's the master.
Right. Yeah.
And the other thing
conference, we're still surprised.
Right, and the other thing I thought that they did that was cool. I mean, what was that with Hardline was that like about half an hour later after that conference, I checked my personal email, my Gmail, and I had email from Twitch that said, because I was a partner, here was my free Hardline code.
What the fuck? I didn't get that shit.
Now
I bet it was a spam. I got one too.
Right. I mean, what a genius move that was for them. Like, let's give all the guys who are streaming
if this is not here.
a beta. They don't even have to ask. Let's just give it to them. So there's some smart people still doing stuff there.
But Jeff, everybody knows, game streams, they're just not fun to watch.
They're not.
According to Reggie.
Watching these game streams for fun.
Nobody's watching. So that was smart, but what was maybe not so smart was the Sims.
Oh my God, what a fucking terrible thing that was.
You guys, did you hear there was a moment when they announced The Sims where it was obviously they must have flown in like the biggest Sims community managers and or community individuals who all run their own fan sites, because there was this like collective scream from what sounded like 15, 16-year-old girls. What I would imagine.
Weird.
When Bieber would come out of a concert and it'd just be like, ah!
Right.
And then
I got that was probably EA's PR department.
EA had a lot of awkward moments.
I mean, let's be honest. This is a trade show. There were not like fans at these things.
Right,
so
bring the daughter to work day at the EA conference. For the
Yeah.
Sims.
I mean, they had me there for a while. I mean, and again, like I worked in the Sims group. So that being said, I did like what they were showing about the game. They had some like okay momentum. I mean, it's a Sims. It's not going to blow anybody away. But what they showed for Sims fans was kind of cool. Except at the end, they show you all this stuff with this new character, and then at the end they kill the guy. Like, and
he was like, and he's dying of laughter. It's great.
Right, and you could just hear the whole room just like deflated. Like everyone was like, "What? Wait,
Totally.
what?"
And then suddenly Death himself is in the party.
Right. It was like ending your demo with the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
So yay Sims.
It'd be so funny to have a mashup of like the EA CEO just like smiling real quick and like flashing between the fucking Sims death, and he's just standing there smiling. It would have been good. The worst part of EA conference is when they did the Dragon Age Inquisition thing, and they had like the person playing the music. That was cool. And then the guy comes out and goes like all the feels. He's like waving himself. I'm just like, did you really just fucking say that? Like, God damn it, EA.
All
it's
the
so
feels.
So
those
bad.
are the moments that I was like waiting for, though. It was my first E3, and there was definitely a part of me that I wanted all the gaffes and like just the moments where you're like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
So, but there was
actually it's a pet peeve of mine of any conference from any developer or whatever or any press conference when the people on stage go like, that looks great. Like,
yeah.
Why don't you let us decide?
It all sounds so it's so only Aisha Tyler can do that and
that.
pull it off and look genuine. Like everyone else just looks real bad.
Should
yeah,
we?
so EA not so.
EA was the worst conference of the show, in my opinion.
They did what I guess they needed to do. Hardline was the most impressive thing.
Hardline, I thought that was smart. I give them props for that.
Have you guys played it all?
No.
Not yet.
Oh, yeah. You were at E3. That's right. I forgot.
Oh yeah.
I played it on Tuesday. It's all right. Like it's. I can't believe they're charging $60 for another Battlefield 4 mode that should have been DLC. That's my opinion on it.
Well, we gotta. I'll be defensive about this game since I've spent a little bit of airtime getting myself in trouble, bagging on them. I'll try to get myself out of trouble now. And that's just that. I think I'm gonna withhold judgment until we see the single player campaign.
Right.
Because it is visceral, right?
And that could be interesting.
They made Dead Space. We know they know how to make single-player games.
Yep.
I don't know what it's going to be like. I haven't seen it, but I'm hoping that maybe we'll get something cool there. Like maybe it's going to be about the campaign with that game.
Yeah.
Maybe.
that would be cool and refreshing, I think.
It would be interesting to see that for like what Call of Duty and Battlefield has become if their single players are actually, they're like, maybe we should actually do something with this instead of just fucking making like a kid. Like an
and did you guys get excited? They didn't show anything, but the beginning when they showed just the environments for Star Wars,
that looked incredible.
I thought that stuff
absolutely insane.
looked hot.
They were in engine, which is I got to remember, but man, they looked good. They looked fantastic.
Okay, maybe now I won't get in trouble.
All right. Why don't we take a break? And we'll come back. We'll keep on chatting. We're probably going to go a little bit over today. Hopefully that's going to be okay, but we'll check in between. And then also, I just want to set this up because last week during 8-Bits we made a lot of predictions about what we thought we were going to see at E3. I'm not sure if any of my predictions came right, but
I was trying to think about that. I don't.
Because even I was so close to there not being another MOBA, which I was joking about, and there was, and I'll tell you about it. But anyway,
EA showed their MOBA as well.
The one thing, but that's been out forever, so that didn't count. The one thing
I had to show a game
that I wanted was an Assassin's Creed dubstep trailer.
Yeah.
And instead, we got this awesome imagery with, a song that's actually quite good, but it didn't didn't get me. See, I disagree. I feel like I am about to present you. No, JP, I want you to watch.
I know you're hyping this. I'm sorry. I don't want to deflate the hype.
I want you to watch and tell me that my dubstep remix Assassin's Creed Unity trailer is not 10 times more hype.
Please put this in the YouTube VOD. I don't want to.
I will turn it off. I will start it, and then I will play it during our break. Yes.
Awesome.
So, okay. And we'll be back with another hour here of 8-Bits. It is the E3 post wrap-up show, so don't go away. We will be right back.